the football heritage. Excuse me just a minute. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Welcome back to the football heritage. Uh, it's good to be here after long period. Wow, wow, it's good. It's good to be here. It's good. It's good to be here after some time. I was on a break and I'm back, and we will be focusing on the transfer window so far, because there are a lot of clubs making move in the transfer window. Several clubs are making good move in the transfer window. Arsenal, Arsenal, Chelsea, they all making move. All making move in the transfer window, but Manchester United, Manchester United on the other hand, they are sleeping. They are sleeping so far. Manchester United is sleeping so far. We are sleeping in the transfer window. We're not making any move. We sign one player this transfer window. Cunha, since we signed Cunha at the beginning of June, it has been terrible. The transfer window has been terrible for Manchester United. And the Glazers, they are the one to blame. The Glazer family, they are, along with INEOS, they have been terrible in this window. They have been very, very terrible in this transfer window. The Glazer family have been terrible. And INEOS, and a lot of the blames too will go on INEOS, because they are the one that saved the Glazer. INEOS saved the Glazer. They are the one that saved the Glazers. Because the reason why we are not focused on the Glazers is because of INEOS. When they decided to buy 25% share in Manchester United, and since they purchased the ball, since the ball about 25% about 18 months ago, the club, the club, the club has moved backward since INEOS purchased 25% of the club. We have moved backward. We have moved backward. And all our rivals, they are making significant move in the transfer window. You look at Arsenal, they are on the verge of signing one of the best striker in Europe for the past 2 seasons, Victor Gyökeres. Victor Gyökeres. Arsenal on the verge of signing Victor Gyökeres. But on the other hand, Manchester United, we are sleeping. We are sleeping. We are sleeping. We have not waking up from our slumber. We finished 15th place in the Premier League. How can a team finish 15? Then that team not serious in the transfer window. How is that possible? How is this allowed to happen? The team finished 15th place in the Premier League, but yet We cannot bring in players. We are struggling to bring in players because we don't have money, according to the club. No money to buy new players except we sell to buy. And we already have 5 players on the market to sell. Marcus Rashford, Tyler Malacia, Alejandro Garnacho, Jadon Sancho, and Anthony. And we are struggling to sell those players. We are struggling to sell them. Rashford, PR, they are claiming that Barcelona are interested in Rashford. But I don't believe that story. I don't believe it. Because I don't think Barcelona as a club will want to invest in Rashford. I don't think so. They won the La Liga last season. I don't think they will make that investment. This is a guy who on huge salary at Manchester United, Rashford. He's on over 300 grand a week. This is the problem. We gave average player huge salary at the end of the day. To sell them, it becomes a problem. Because no team going to offer such wage to players like Rashford. No team going to do that. And this is why we are finding it difficult to sell players. This is why we are finding it difficult to get rid of players. This is the reason. Because we gave them huge salary. Anthony on over 200 grand. Jadon Sancho over 200 grand. How can we get rid of them? And Sancho, Rashford, none of them willing to reduce their salary in order to join different teams. So if we cannot get rid of those players, the right thing to do, in my humble opinion, those players, they should make those players to train with the reserve for the rest of the season. Next summer is the FIFA World Cup. And I know a player like Rashford, Anthony, they want to play in the World Cup. Rashford, Anthony, they will want to play in the World Cup. So if they cannot make a move right now in order to go to another team where they will be able to perform to play next summer FIFA World Cup, then we have to be drastic at that football club. Chelsea did it with Lukaku and Aubameyang, told them, you guys are not needed no more, and they sent them to the reserve. They sent them to train with the reserve, and they were able to move to another team. So if those guys, they can't bring their salary down, if they cannot reduce their salary in order to make things smooth for them to join different teams, the Manchester United should allow them, should send them to the reserve, to train with the reserve for the entire season. They should be nowhere near the first team. Then everybody going to lose. They will not play the World Cup that most of them want to play, with the exception of probably Jadon Sancho, because that guy lacks ambition. But I know Rashford want to go to the World Cup next summer. Anthony will let to go to the World Cup. Garnacho will let to go to the World Cup. So that's the right thing to do. If their agent cannot find them a move because they don't want to reduce their salary to go to another team, then they should train with the reserve for the rest of the season. Then we are going to lose. That's the right thing to do. Send it to the reserve. And we have to. You cannot finish 15. Manchester United should sign at least 5 players that will start in the team. We need a new number 9. That is a priority that we need. We need a number 9. And we need another goalkeeper. That's a priority. Manchester United need another goalkeeper. That should be a priority signing. A goalkeeper or number 9, another central midfielder. We need players for those positions. You cannot finish 15. The way the Premier League looks right now, you have to spend money to catch up. You have to spend money to catch up with Liverpool, Arsenal, Manchester City. You have to spend money. You have to spend money. And looking at Liverpool, they didn't spend last year. And so far, I think Liverpool, they are winning this transfer window. This transfer window, Liverpool is on the verge of winning the transfer window. Liverpool, last year, when club left, they only signed one player. Federico Chiesa. That was the only player Liverpool signed last season. But what have they won the Premier League with signing a player who was a French player who was not even getting a lot of game time on Liverpool last year. But yet, they won the title comfortably. There was no one to challenge them for the Premier League last season. Arsenal didn't challenge Liverpool for the Premier League. Liverpool has zero pressure until they win the Premier League last season, with us making any significant move in the transfer window last year. But this year, what have Liverpool done in the transfer window? Trent Alexander-Arnold joined Real Madrid. They went ahead and signed Frimpong from Bayer Leverkusen to replace Trent Alexander-Arnold at the right back position. Then they know that one of the weakness Liverpool had last season was the left full back, Robertson. What did they do? They signed Kerkers from Bournemouth to replace him. So the entire defense right now, it is very, very good. On paper, it is good. We can wait until the season starts. But on paper, that defense is very, very good. And what did they do? They signed a new number 10 for over £100 million. And now, they're on the verge of making a bid for Alexander Isak. I think that he is one of the best strikers in world football. He has all the quality as a striker. This guy can hold the ball up front. He can dribble. He can score goals. And if Liverpool sign Alexander Isak, I think the Premier League will be over before it starts. Because if you have Isak and Remo too, like they are also interested in Rodrigo for Real Madrid. They are also in for Rodrigo for Real Madrid. So Liverpool right now is winning the transfer window. And I think Liverpool, they are the favorite for the Premier League this coming season. They are the favorite. You look at Arsenal on the other hand. Even though they lost Partey, they signed Zubimendi to replace Partey. Zubimendi, I've only seen him play in a La Liga, but we all know the Premier League is played with pace. It's different from La Liga. So until he can perform to be better than Partey, but in my opinion, I think Partey is a better midfielder than him. So I don't think that's an upgrade, in my opinion. I don't think Zubimendi replacing Partey is an upgrade on Partey until he can prove me wrong. But he's a quality player. But they also lost Partey, so that's not an upgrade in that position. But now, one of the things they have been missing for the past few years is a proper number 9. And for the past 2 seasons, Victor Gyökeres, he has been on fire since he joined Sporting. Even though he played in the Premier League, he played 3 games in the Premier League, in the Championship, before going to Sporting, it didn't work out for him. But on paper, it looks like a good signing on paper. But we all know sometimes when a player leave another league and go in the Premier League, sometimes they fail miserably. Matija Kesman, like 20, 21 years ago, when he joined Chelsea from PSV Eindhoven in the Dutch league, he scored so many goals. The goals he scored were more than the number of games he played for PSV. But he flopped at Chelsea massively. Those things can happen. But on paper, I think it's a good signing. Victor Gyökeres. I think he's going to make Arsenal better unless he be a flop. And they also signed Madueke, even though a lot of Arsenal fans have problem with that signing. So while the club spend about 50 million for the £8 million plus add-on, which carry up to 52 million, while the club will spend such money on Madueke. But he's young. He has potential, so he may improve. He may improve. He can be a squad player on our team, but I think he can do a job. He can do a better job than most of the players Arsenal have in that squad. Yeah, they're also doing well in the transfer window this season. At least they are going for a player that they really need, because Arsenal, they've been missing a point striker for the past few years, 5-6 years without a point striker. So going for one, I think that's a brilliant idea. Going for one of the best strikers for the past 2 years in European football. So until he can prove all wrong, because on paper the signing is good. The signing will be a good signing on paper. And Chelsea, they just signing. They keep signing every time. Every time those guys keep signing. And Joao Pedro, the few games Joao Pedro playing the Club World Cup, I think it's a decent signing. It's going to work out well because the whole of play is good. He's a very good striker. And for Delap, I think he's average. Probably he may improve because he's young. He may also improve because he's young. And now they told Madueke from that book. That's one of the good things Chelsea can do. They are very good at getting rid of players that they don't want. That is one of the things Chelsea good at. Chelsea, they are good at getting rid of players that they don't want in a squad. Every time, if they don't want a player in a squad, they get rid of them. They get rid of them with Messi man for over 60 million. They got rid of Kai Havertz for 65 million pounds. Can you imagine getting money like that for players that you don't need in your squad? And now they have gotten rid of Noni Madueke for such fees. So they are very, very good at it, Chelsea. Really admire the way they run their football club in getting rid of players that they don't want. But we are struggling. Manchester United always struggle to get rid of players that they don't want. But other teams, Chelsea, Man City, they are so good at getting rid of their players that they don't need in a squad. They are very good at it. But Manchester United always struggle. We struggle all the time to get rid of our Daewoo. How are we going to get rid of our Daewoo? How? Freedom Fuertel and Sancho. This is a guy who was on Chelsea on loan last season. And they told him to reduce the salary for him to stay. He didn't accept a pay cut. This is a guy who been a flop saying he came to the Premier League. Saying he left from Borussia Dortmund to the Premier League, been a flop. But he doesn't want to reduce his salary. Because while Manchester United, we are the cause of that. We gave the guy over 200 grand a week. We are the cause. We are responsible for it. We gave him so much money. So now we have to compromise. He's not leaving except we pay him off. We cannot get rid of players. INEOS is the worst thing that happened to the football club for the past 20 years. Because they get no idea about what they are doing. INEOS have zero idea about what they are doing when it comes to football. They are running this football club so poorly. Even the Glazer did a better job running this football club than INEOS. They are clueless. And then Berada said this was the transfer window they planned for. They planned for the window for months. But since the first week in June, they announced Cunha as a signing. Today is July 16. We have been beyond Buemo for over a month now. We cannot sign Buemo. Then, when the season about to start, probably we'll lose few games. Then the end of August, the end of the transfer window, then we'll go do some panic buy. And panic buy, it won't work. You will buy the wrong players for a lot of money. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Panic buy will not work. Why INEOS not signing players before the preseason? Why are they not giving? How can you employ a coach? How can you sign a new coach? A coach, that system is different, totally different from Manchester United system. From time immemorial, Manchester United never played such system. Yet, you sign a coach to play that brand of football without giving him players to do it. How do you expect him to perform? How? You cannot sign Amorim, who plays a 3-5-2 system. Then you don't give him players to play in that system. It's not going to work. It is not going to work. You should have given him players before the 19th or the 20th of July. Let them have 4 preseason. Let them be prepared for the first game of the season against Arsenal. Absolutely crazy. The worst thing to happen to the football club was INEOS coming in to save the Glazer to buy 25% in this football club. They should have been a full sale. This is why a lot of us are asking for a full sale. The Qatari, if they would have bought this football club, the debt would have been paid. All the debt would have been paid to free this football club. But no. Sir Jim Ratcliffe came in with INEOS. Clueless Jim Ratcliffe, very, very clueless. Spent about 25% in the football club. Then they agreed for him to run the football inside of the club, but yet they are performing dismally. Performing dismally. Jim Ratcliffe, what have you done? Why? Why are you treating our football club like this? This club is dear to our heart. And yet you are treating this football club like trash. Treating our football club like trash. The preseason tour about to start with one signing. At least it should have been 4 signing. At least we should have 4 signing before the preseason start. But just one signing. then we cannot get rid of the players then we don't want. We can't. Finding it difficult to get rid of players that we don't need in our squad. How Chelsea keep doing it, getting rid of Adair. How Messi keep doing it, but we are unable to do the same to get rid of the players that we don't want. How? Can somebody tell me how? Now Manchester United is unable to get rid of players that they don't want in the football club. Sachin Rackley, you got to do better. You are the worst thing that ever happened to the football club. Sometimes I wonder whether Sachin Rackley is a proper Manchester United fan. Because I don't think he is. Because how can you be a billionaire? Then you say the team you support, you bought 25% share in the team you support, but yet you cannot save the team. You cannot save this football club for embarrassment. You cannot save this football club from disgrace. If you don't spend money, this club is going nowhere next season. Except something just happened, like magic. You have to spend money. We have to. The season is like 4 weeks away. Our first game, Old Trafford against Arsenal, 4 weeks away. Yet. But if they can give Amorim at least 5 players in the transfer window, I think he should quit his job. Make them look stupid. Quit your job. Amorim should quit if INEOS didn't give him. If INEOS don't give him his players, he should quit. Make them look stupid. Quit the job. Simple. You have every time in this world. Quit the job. Make INEOS look stupid because they are clueless. Bunch of clueless fool running our football club. Clueless fool. Incompetent people running this football club. How? Today is July 16. We have only signed 1 player. When I saw Onana coming on the practice ground, going to the practice ground smiling, that nonsense triggered me. Like I wanted to slap him in the face. This is a guy who has cost a lot of goals for the past 2 seasons. Then he's smiling. If Onana refuses to leave the club, put him in a reserve. When Manchester United can want sell players, the player can refuse to go, then they stay on the team because the huge wages we gave them. Banish him. You have to take drastic decisions against those useless players. Banish him. Send him to the reserve for the rest of the season if he doesn't leave. Simple as that. I don't care whether we bring a reserve. I don't care whether we bring a youth from the academy. I don't freaking care. Any player who want to get rid of, they don't want to go, banish them, send them to the reserve. Then they go play for the reserve for the entire season. They themselves will leave in January. Send them to the reserve. We got to be drastic. Because a lot of players are stealing or living at that football club. They are stealing or living. They do absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. But yet, they make more money. More money. Without doing anything. So we have to take drastic action. This is the only way to save this football club. Any player that doesn't want to leave, we say leave, you don't want to leave, banish them, send them to the reserve. There where they belong. Let them go play for the reserve. They are going to go. Next year, especially, we have advantage. Next year is World Cup year. A lot of them want to play in a FIFA World Cup. And you cannot play that by being on a reserve. So we have to get rid of them. We have to sign players now. We need players now. Time is running out. Time running out. So if you are not here, subscribe. Please subscribe. The link is in the description. The Football Heritage. Please do subscribe. And I'll be back here on Friday with another edition. So this is how I come to the end of the podcast. And peace.